Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to our Monday night We the People, brought to you by the Coalition for Community Elevation. And I am very happy this evening to report that we had some very successful events over the weekend. Um, I'm sure Masada will be here. I did invite a couple other people to come on the show tonight. A little unconventional. I didn't pass out scripts, and we're not uh, necessarily following the line and the economic trends. But I do see our vice president is here, and we have surely missed him. But he has been out traveling. I see him all over the internet here. Brother Derek, how are you doing this evening?
I'm good. No complaints, as you said. Trying to hit it and quit it. I'm out here trying to get mine, trying to spread messages. So it's good to be back.
Well, I tell you, it was very interesting how we don't usually you know talk about climate change and stuff like that. I mean, we do it in kind of a joking manner, but I was talking to my friend today in Pittsburgh, and when I talked to him yesterday, it was almost 80 degrees.
Hmm.
I talked to him just before the show, and it snowed.
Wow.
Yeah. But I always told people that it snowed the first day of spring in Pittsburgh anyway. So, yeah. But, Brother Derek, how have your travels been? I see you've been out on the road there and kind of getting, talking about your book and whatnot.
Yeah, it's still rough road to hoe sometimes, just because people are fearful of discussing and entertaining discussions around this administration, and because of the retribution, the things that happen when people speak out or stand up, as is going to happen this coming weekend with the next We Kings rally, right?
April 28th, right? Am I right? Is that the date?
Um, I believe it. Yeah, that's this coming weekend.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I've had some really good engagements. And been out in the Midwest and out in Virginia, and be down in Florida this weekend. And yeah, just trying to keep the hammer down, because these are the times that try men's souls, as some rich dead white guy said one way back when.
um, you know, one of the things that I want to talk about is the success of our Kids Garden project.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
we,
excited to hear about that. I mean, it's hearing some
we
bits and
had
pieces.
we had five kids that showed up. One is they were as far as 2 hours away, uh,
Wow.
and it was amazing because Masada has the three boys, but this was a little young boy. He was only about 3 years old. I'm hoping his dad comes on tonight. But it only takes a little bit. Like
Yeah.
first, the kid looks. He kind of praises his situation where he is in the pack. And then he finds one to play with, and then those two play with two more, and nobody asks. They might say, "What's your name?" But they don't ask, Who's your daddy? What's his religion? What kind of car does he drive? They just want to play. They just want to have fun. And I use that as an example while I was at the table and we were discussing. You know, just look out there at those kids. It does no politics, none of that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Playing in the dirt together. Yeah.
yeah, you know, and then after he went back, after we gave the little boy a pack of seeds, and after he went back home, he wanted to plant some in his yard. And if we can, if we can just have one example like that every week,
Yeah.
I think we are successful. You know,
Absolutely. Every
because
starts with a
it's
single step, right?
yes, you know, and then we come across another situation where a young child is being bullied in school, and he has other kids calling him N-word and things like this. So we wrote out a proposal to the principal. Bring the kids to the garden, let them pair up. Let them talk about each other's cultures. Maybe you plant cucumbers and I plant tail or whatever. And like, how does your mom eat this? Well, I bring this to school and lunch. You know, uh, and all the harvest goes back to the school.
It's wonderful. Awesome.
Because that's what it's about. It's about giving back to the community, and the community is colorblind.
Amen.
You know
That's it.
that's not to say that we might not have our differences, but we do have the same goal. You know, now the only thing that we need is to all get on the same path to get there. So, here I am preaching to the choir. Anyway, so, brother, how is your message being sought after? Well, how is it being taken today? Uh, we went to two different affairs this weekend. Both of our affairs, well, the kids' garden, of course, that was for the youth. But the day before, we went to another event that was given by a local pastor, Pastor Kelly, and we went to their event. There were, senior citizens, my age, of course, and we went down and we had a very good time with them. We went to their event, and they were playing songs that are familiar to you and I. Sam Cooke, and um, the old, what we used to call the oldies but goodies. And then you had the young kids doing the Mexican dances and things like that. But my point is, when we went to the place where we were given the common table, we went to a kind of it's a chain. I don't know if you have them in Atlanta, but I do know they have them in Texas and other places. It's called Novo Brazil Brewing,
Hmm.
and of course they have pretty decent food as far as we were concerned. But in the meantime, now we're watching. Uh, the Sweet 16.
Mhm.
And now, the music is totally different. When people drive up, the boom, 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 yeah, you know. But my point is, no matter what age they were having a good time.
Yeah.
And at least for that particular moment, all of that other stuff that we bring with us is, like lift it up. I mean, just yeah. Uh, brother, uh,
So, and I'm all in on the Sweet 16. My team got sent home last night. So, but it's an annual ritual for sure.
yeah, yeah. But I wanted to share with you. Uh, well, the theme of our common table last night was what is a coalition, and I separated them up into two tables, um, and you had to actually talk to each other because I made sure that there were no name tags. If you wanted to know somebody's name, you had to ask. You know, so that kind of broke the ice right there. You know, rather than people looking, well, okay, I mean, his name is James, and keep on walking. Well, now you got to say, well, who are you? You know. So anyway, uh, the three questions that I left at the table were: number one, from your own experience, what is something in your community right now that is working better than people realize? The
Hmm.
second question was, where do you see a real disconnect between what people are saying and what is really happening on the ground? And my third question is, without waiting on government or institutions, what is one thing people like us can realistically do to improve that gap? And we had people of all different ages, talk about this question. So,
And
uh,
let me get a clarification. One thing that you can do to improve what, James? On
one
that
th-
third question?
without waiting on the government or institutions, what is one thing people like us can realistically do to improve that gap,
That gap. Okay, got it.
which
Yeah.
is our community gardens,
Hmm.
which is interacting with the community on boots on the ground level, you know. But like again, once again, I'm preaching to the choir here. Uh, if you'd been at that table, brother Derek, what would some of your answers have been?
Those are good questions for sure. I
Would you like some examples first?
Yeah, please. Let me hear
Okay,
what some of the things that you all talked about.
okay. One is I see a big difference, a disconnect in understanding the homeless or homeless neighbors and all the reasons why no improvement happens. Why doesn't it get better? Who is considered homeless and what is the character of those individuals? Let's see, where's another one?
That's a good one. That's a very strong one. You know.
Let's see,
Hmm.
we can go to table number two. I had a note taker at every table.
That's great. That's great.
So that was table number one. Table number two. Let's see. Okay, here it is. talking about the bond of trust within the community, accountability within the neighborhood, healthy outdoor spaces to connect with, um, safe spaces for specific communities within the community culture. Um, and we do have a lot of that out here. Uh, so uh, that was table A and B. What would your thing be there, brother?
Um, well, one of the things that I concentrate on and have concentrated on a lot in the last 6 weeks in particular, actually since the first of the of the well, since the King holiday and just leading up to it, is educating people about the the history of, for example, the nonviolent civil rights movement and the things that were sacrificed, the things that were gained, uh, what people did to move us towards the Civil Rights Act of '64, the Voting Rights Act of '65, because I think that a lot of peak times are people, there's the old saying, my people perish for lack of knowledge. In fact, that's biblical. So a lot of times people don't know. And when you don't know what has been invested in your future, your success, to give you opportunities that weren't there when you and I were young, James, then if people don't know, then they're not going to value these things. They're not going to understand why it's important to protect them. They're not going to understand why there have been sacred sacrifices towards allowing them to, when you went to Vietnam to fight for your country, uh, most black people couldn't go to school anywhere they had the grades to go to school, right? A lot of places, and there may not have been that way in California, but certainly in a lot of other places, people couldn't buy a house in any neighborhood that they wanted to, because it would be because of redlining, and they would, be accused. There was the concept of blockbusting. So these kind of things that our young people don't know, and if they don't know, then they it's hard to hold them accountable for protecting the things that that are, we would say were at one time settled law, like birthright citizenship. For example, in California, you have so many people who have, come to work and earn a decent living, and many of them are in farming, right? They do grow things and and nurture the soil and the seed and those things, just like what we're talking about teaching young people to do in the community garden. But there are threats to the fact that if you are born here, then you are certainly a U.S. citizen. So I think that a lot of what I do is around education, and because again, I think that we are in a kind of place, and the beautiful thing is when you guys gather for at those roundtables, you didn't have to be concerned or discuss maybe some of the state of the nation issues, but I think that the fact that our democracy is being threatened in many ways, like today when ICE agents were sent to 13 airports across the country, including certainly here in my city. And I don't know what they're going to do at the airports. They have no training to process people. So these are the kind of things that, unfortunately, I have been called and um, commandeered to help people process and understand. Um,
But
you know,
here's what I don't understand, though, brother. And this is what has got me to this point where the coalition means so much to me. I want to say there's about 15 years between you and I?
I don't think so.
I just turned 79.
Okay, so yeah, no, I'm 71, so
Okay.
we're not that far apart, but
Okay.
certainly far enough
Yeah.
that you
But
know.
my point being is this is what we heard our fathers say. If we just give them the education, if we just put them on an equal footing, then things will be all right. And for years, like when you talk about, the Voting Act of 1964 and 65, you know, I assumed until I got incarcerated, that my vote counted when I went to church. That we discussed it in church. The Reverend. I mean, my auntie was a committee woman, so for the Democratic Party. You understand the how church and politics work then, especially in the black community. But now, first of all, you don't the congregation that you have is either our age or close to our age. Whereas when we went to church, you know, everybody was in their early 30s, maybe, from the little babies up. You were born into church,
Yeah.
more or less. And we have lost that tradition. I mean, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person, but that life has kind of made me that way from the way that I live my life, and I understand that. But the things that used to bond us together, I mean, Easter Sunday's coming up. But now, Mama, they got you new shoes. You got that new suit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody getting ready for Easter. You know, Reverend sitting back getting the sermon ready. you know, the choir, they rehearsing their songs. I think I went past 3 black churches where I didn't hear a sound. But I went past the Vietnamese Baptist church about 3 blocks away, and I couldn't understand what they were saying, but they was there. The community was there.
Yeah. Yeah. We have gone from a place where the in the black community, the black church was the central point of the community. It was home. It was ground zero. Activism came out of that. If something were wrong, that was the place where people went to come up with unified solutions, or who was going to represent that family in front of, with the judge, with the sheriff, with the school board. I mean, today, James, you have a lot of the last generation, maybe 2 generations, who have never even been to church. I'm saying so. Even outside of the religious or the spiritual aspect of the church, it's the one place where black people's in the black community, the the power was certainly there. The influence was there. It was unquestioned. That was one place where other communities weren't going to come in and take your power, take your voice. And so I think that a lot of education came out of that, a lot of empowerment came out of that, a lot of like, support when things went wrong, when things were when people were being abused, when injustice was taking place. That was a place that we could come and we could mourn, we could celebrate, we could rejoice. We commiserated a lot of times, but that was our safe space. And so now I wonder where people do go for safe space if they don't go to the church. So, but it's a different day. It's a new day.
It, it, it's usually behind your car or somewhere that's safe.
Yeah.
But Brother Masada, I was just talking about our weekend with Brother Derek, and we were talking about the kids' garden and whatnot, and I did get a little bit into the common table, where and I was asking him the same questions that we presented to the common table.
Okay.
So we were kind of talking about, what things did we think work better than we thought in the community, and what things, people are disillusioned about in the community, and what we could do to make things better in the community.
Yeah.
So, in going through that, we were talking about, we got to talking about how life used to be in the black community and in our age. And, I think Masada is the young man. He's only 44. He's still a
Yeah.
baby. I, I don't know whether he's my brother or my son.
There you
You
go.
You can be both.
So
It could almost be your grandson if you were really working fast.
In today's age,
Now
you're
that's
right.
scary. That's
Yeah,
scary.
well, hey, in today's age, grandma's 35. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Man. Well, first, welcome, Brother Derek. Thank y'all for having me. Welcome me. I just got in from the beach with the kids, and I can talk
Nice.
real quick on the topic of how we can change the community because this past weekend started with Friday, helping out at the Doyle Rec in La Jolla. Brother James got us with his friends, and we went over there, helped, being servants, and had a good time with the elderly and the great people. And then Saturday rolled out the garden, had the little kids come, other people, kids we didn't know who were just there, and then rolled it out into the evening. The same thing happened, and how we can make things like that happen is from that weekend. I took my kids out today. I reached out to his team. Some of them couldn't make it. I reached out one dad. He flew in last night and actually brought his son today. I was like, dude, you must be tired. And he was like, yeah, but he brought his son today to beach bike ride. First time ever, we did it. Went bike riding. Went to go play basketball. So we're dropping off our bikes at the car and the truck. And this woman sees it, and she just comes and asks me and my kids if they want something, and I'm like, "Yo, they got it, but yeah, y'all can have it." She's about to go because she just went to the store, and all being nice and polite. We're talking. Finds out she has a 10-year-old. Um, get the number, tell her about the coalition and everything. We go to the basketball courts. This Ethiopian brother is playing on the courts. Our kids are playing on the courts. He's about to try to leave, and I'm like, "Dude, why you leave? Come play with us." He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, come play with us." He's like, "I'm just trying to have fun." I'm like, "Bro, it's kids." So me and the other dad and him, he's on the boys team. It's three of them and him, and me and the dad and one of the little twins. And we're playing, tell him about the coalition. He loves what we're talking about, love what we did this past weekend. He's like, "Thank you for playing with us." I'm like, "No, thank you for playing with my kids." He came up, introduced himself to all my kids, told them good game afterwards. And from that, I saw other dads start getting out instead of being right there. They start on the courts with their kids and all the dads are looking at each other saying what up, and moms and everybody. And that's how we do it. It seems like so dumb or rudimentary, but it really is elementary, just simple, basic steps of getting back talking with each other. And the reason I mentioned the lady and the guy is because when I told them about the coalition and what we're about, they said we need more of that, and that's what it's missing. And I said it's not missing because y'all are doing it with me. these people didn't look like me. The Ethiopian obviously did, but the other lady I think was Cambodian and Lebanese or something, some type of mix. Um, the dads I saw at the beach with their kids and the families were all mixed, and we were all riding bikes and just talking and being communal. And I told them about the garden, the gardens we have, the community gardens, and what we're doing, and really just talking. That really is all it takes, because you find out 9 times out of 10 your neighbor is more like you than not, and it's not like
Absolutely.
what the media is portraying.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's
You
what I've
guys
been
are
doing. I
doing
just
you
walk
guys
there.
are doing great work out there. And like you said, you found the common ground where kids can come and have fun and learn, and you can get to know each other. And as you said, the more time we spend doing that, the more we do find exactly what you said. We have so much more in common than we do uh, where we differ. And I mean, everybody wants safe space to live, to live in peace, make a decent living, be able to be a contributor to your society. So I don't see any way it can fail. And plus, you guys work so hard at it. So I love hearing these stories, because most it's very different than what we hear most days, because there's so much drama and strife going on, and so you all are creating this
I'm, I,
environment.
I'm at war too, brother Derek. But I'm looking for a different outcome.
There you go. There you go. But yeah, you step out of that sometime, and you're creating another space, though, a safe space, a nurturing space, a friendly
Well,
space.
I had to get out of that angry
Yeah, yeah,
type
yeah.
of space, and
Hmm.
get into that space where I it's just as destructive to hold that in
Yeah,
as it is to kind of let go. I used to I used to have terrible memories of my dad, and like the only thing that I had was a lot of animosity.
yeah,
And I looked at Masada and other dads that I'm seeing, and I'm like, well, I have to let go of this, because if I don't, then I don't care. Kids, this might be a bad, comparison, but kids and dogs can smell evil. At least I believe that. I mean, certain babies, if you try to hand them to certain, no, don't, you know,
yeah,
and puppies is the same way. If they don't trust you, then maybe I should look into your character a little bit too. But I'm getting a little too deep there. But,
No, that's a great point.
you know,
It's a great point.
I got one where you're talking about with the anger. Once you let go of that and actually really try to listen, that's what the forum. One big thing stuck out to me about the forum, brother Derek, is we had one table where elderly, she didn't like the bike lanes, and then we had one with a younger one, and she was also in support of the bike lanes. And the funniest thing about all of that was I'm partially responsible for us getting all the new bike lanes. I did a press conference with the mayor out here about a year and a half ago or two to actually get the funding for that to go in. And so we had three different sides of it, to where I agree with both of them. Some parts of it, the people who aren't used to it and aren't used to it in the city of San Diego, how they put them everywhere because they used to only have them in certain sections. They're not used to it, but it helps out. The people who wanted them, it helps them out too. But the people who aren't looking for those blind spots, or they're getting a little older in age, or not used to the certain changes, they both differed, and it wasn't that they agreed to disagree. They just disagreed, but they didn't have to dislike each other or hate each other for their disagreement. They listened and learned why the other person
Yeah,
did or did not like it, and they understood it.
yeah,
Once you try to really understand something and look at it from that POV, they say that person's point of view, then you'll get it, and it won't make you so mad because right now, a lot of people aren't looking from the other person's point of view. We joke all the time. Some of my friends and other people I know, they're broke isn't somebody else's broke. You know, somebody else's broke is they can't afford food or they can't afford to pay a bill. Their broke is they're telling me they can't afford to go to this golf game or they can't go to this concert because it's 2,000 instead of like 500 or something. You know,
Yeah.
so if
It's
we
all
really,
relative for
yeah,
sure.
all perspective. So if we understand somebody else's and actually listen, you don't got to agree with it, but understand it
Yeah.
and see where they're
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, we have some more things coming up. Actually, the first weekend in April, uh, I'm sure Masada and uh, the family will find a way to do the 28th. What is? Yeah, that's this Saturday. Some what parade is that? It's not Martin Luther. Is that? It's not. Is that Caesar
Oh,
Chavez?
You know what? Speaking on that, I don't know if they're gonna have that.
Well, no,
Man,
right now there's still some things planned for the 28th. I just don't know whether they're
I
because
hope they
I
still doing it.
uh,
I'm free. We on spring break, so the only thing I'm doing is getting them out and get just getting them moving still, not letting them be lazy, not letting them be in the house. Just, I mean, we gotta enjoy the weather. Some places it's snowing right now and really hot, and
I'm
we
telling you.
just came from the beach playing basketball and riding bikes and playing in the sands. And um, it feels cool to say that, and then it hurts because it's I got people from Iran. I got friends that not just they're in snow, they're in misery. I got people in Israel, and that don't mean they're with it. It's just like our government. It don't mean that we're with anything our government's doing, but we're still not doing or taking bigger steps as a whole to stop it. So we're a part of it, and I always feel like if you don't say nothing, if you don't try to do something, then you're part of it. You can point fingers all day. We can point red, blue, this side, that side. But if we're all sitting here watching it, it's just like when they said in 1942 and three, and I ain't got to name his name, but when they were like, how did it happen? What we're doing now. So it's hard to be American, but at the same time, it's hard to be black. I've never believed in being an American. I believe in being a person because Americans show me what they're blatantly showing everybody now. So I enjoyed it today, but at the same time, I do have to look, and think, what if we all stopped? What if the world stopped and came as one? And it sucks because they're like, we can't do it. But I remember COVID, they told us what to do, and everybody said, all right, I ain't going to work. I want to go do this. So sorry about that, y'all. A lot is on my mind and heart all the time. But the good people I
well,
met and the good weekend made it great.
yeah. But yeah, and as I was saying, there's a couple things that we would like to expand on, Brother Derek. Our youth program, our youth initiative. Uh, we want to expand the chess into Rubik's Cube, which also teaches teacher strategy as well as what did my man call it? Vertical
Vector, vector,
trigonometry,
vector
vector.
calculus.
Yeah, vector.
Yeah.
And we are also trying to initiate an anti-bullying program into that. And like I said, maybe if we can get some,
Anti-bullying with diversity inclusion. I know they've been rolling back on all that, but we have a problem out here to where it's Southern California to where California, I mean, it had black, it really is. It's black, Mexican, it's very Latino, it's Filipino, Asian, like all different communities. But in certain sectors, especially close to the border, it's a lot of just the Latino or the Mexican community. And I don't think anything's wrong with want to stick with your culture. And notice when I say stick with your culture, I pause because I'm not saying sticking together. Because when I say stick together, I don't mean just with your culture. I mean, there's nothing wrong with sticking with your culture with keeping the foods, keeping the things y'all do, the
Traditions. Yeah.
traditions and everything else. But when you exclude, when you segregate, that's when everything is not, because if you're every culture is a mix of something else. There's no purebreds. And when you do look at the purebreds, I'm sorry, I don't even got to say the place, but look up a place where it's really just 100, almost 100% purebred at 90, and look at them and you tell me if you want that. Um, it's just, it's funny to me, brother Derek, because people are vain. We all go off of vanity. We all go off of status, money, and all that BS. And when they go off of vanity, the reason we're hated is because we can be out in the sun, the colors. Everybody want to be tan. Everybody want to be dark because it's beautiful. But then they say it's ugly. But when you really look at the true ugly, look at somebody who's about 90% or 80% something, and you're gonna be like, "Yo, y'all look off. We need to mix." So that's my little rant about that. But yeah, we're going to be doing more programs. The vector calculus, the reason it goes with the Rubik's cubes is because the math and the geometry that has to go into it, that plays in with counting and really getting precise on which squares to move to get all the colors together. So people think it's just a game, but it's a science to it, and the science deals with the math to it, and kids are really interested in it. So when we teach chess, when we introduce that to them, people are surprised that kindergartners through fifth graders, 8 to 9 graders, they're really interested in both. And the ones even on the spectrums, chess holds their attention, and when it loses it, the Rubik's Cubes holds it a lot too. So those two initiatives that's coming in are going to be great. The
Yeah.
one we have with the gardening one, a little kids are telling me they love carrots, they love this, they love that. They can tell you about it. They're planting it. Their families are there with them, and it's a Saturday morning, and I'm looking at least 10, 15 kids out in the garden, like all just around, not even with us. A couple of them come with us, but they're outside gardening. And I'm like, it makes me have hope. If all of us can do more of that, or the majority of us that say we're good and want to do things, let's stop doing it. The CEO of McDonald's don't eat their food. He barely didn't want to eat it. They make memes about it. And then you go to it, and it'd be like, dude, he didn't. They just came out with a study saying supposedly that they got human DNA in it now and all stuff. And I still see the drive-throughs packed. They tell us we got diabetes and all this other stuff, and you'll see somebody pour a whole bunch of sugar in their tea, and you're like, yo, like, can we do better? So my people, whoever listen and see us, because I know y'all watch, let's do better. Like, I don't want to be the spokesman and the figure. I'm just trying to live my life and lead by example by my kids, and hope other kids and other people see it and want to do the same.
See, I'm the guy that puts the sugar in the tea, though. See, but
you got to have good things at time too. Bad things are good, but in moderation.
But then I'm the guy that I also like I love my carrots and my collard greens and hey. But
and you can be accountable for what can happen, though, right? You're willing to accept.
But I'm gonna sneak me some cornbread in there. Hey, you ain't gonna give me no greens without no cornbread. Now, come on, what y'all thinking here?
Yeah.
So I got a little Mississippi in me too. I mean, but anyway.
I want the whole course. I want the 4-course meal. No, 5 course, right? I want the 5 course. I want the dessert with it.
Yeah, shoot, hey, don't tell me there's some banana pudding out there in the refrigerator. I'm good too.
Hey,
but
let's speak. Speaking on this, did you tell them all about like the garden and how we shared different foods and fruits and the seeds and the plants, and it was just
Brother Derek, Brother Derek, I think the last time you were here, we hadn't got our seeds yet. We got 50 packs of seeds.
Shout out to who sent them.
So Right Seeds sent those to us. We got I think a couple kinds of eggplant and cucumbers and greens and some herbs and some flowers, and then I think you were here when I said the brother out there.
And you said herbs, not herb, right?
No, herbs like cilantro, cilantro. We got radishes. We got what is that little stuff? We got
We got
Dill.
Dill. We got some,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got a lot though. It's the stuff you put in it's like bok choy, but it's not bok choy, but it looks like it and it grows up and it looks like dill, but it's not. I forgot the name of it. We got so much that it was hard to keep remembering the names of the stuff and all. And the most excitement was you wouldn't believe it. These kids aren't more than I think the oldest kid out there was like 11, and the youngest is Ezra. Little Ezra is 3, and
Yeah.
they were picking out what they wanted and they were excited about it. Like, yo, okay, and to me that was the funnest thing. And then later on that evening they're just out running with a lot of kids and parents are coming to tell me thank you, and I'm like, thank you, you're allowing it as well.
And eventually it'll be good to get a little bit of video footage. Of course, you got to get parents, sign off. But that'll be great for some of the promos, because I bet
there's some up on Instagram, I believe.
Yeah,
okay. I put a couple of pictures. It's hard to do it because we're a small man show, and I'm trying to live it. While I'm trying to live it, I'm trying to do it. But then so a little secret. Well, it ain't no secret. Everybody could know. I am really one of those dads. I am a helicopter dad, they call it. I hover right over. I watch mine. So even if I'm in control of something or DJing or MCing or whatever I'm doing, if my kids are there, they got my focus.
Your eyes on them.
You got my attention. But most of the time, they can say, Daddy, do something. Somebody can move around them the wrong way. And I'm watching them. I got in trouble one time, supposedly, because I'm watching somebody. I'm like, you bent down near my kid. I don't care who you are. You bent down near my kid. I'm going to watch you. I don't like you, but you bent down near my kid. My eyes are going to be constantly on you. My kids are young. I don't know how to tell people. I won't get started on that. But yeah.
This is something to think about. Check and see if there are, whether it would be a junior college or there's probably a college in your area that probably has a public relations, a department that does public relations and journalism. I bet that you could probably go get connected with some of those, like the chair of the department, the professor, and say, listen, we have this new organization. It's about the community. It's about community empowerment, teaching kids how to appreciate food, grow food. And I bet you could probably find somebody that would say, well, wow, I'd like to do PR for your organization. They could build their portfolio while helping the community to grow and know about the work that you guys are doing. And that way, like you said, because you can't do it all. But I bet you, because I just hear in the response of some of the parents and the kids, there's a lot of excitement. And I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day. So I'm just saying that may be something for 6 months, a year, 3 months. But that way, because people will come when they find out there's something that doesn't cost them and there's only value added there, and the kids can have fun and they can meet people who are like-minded. I mean, you guys are doing it's beautiful what you're getting done here.
It's community. People are shocked when we told them community. They were like, really? Some simple, stupid. When I say things so people can understand how simple it is. It's not bragging on it. It's not saying, look at what we doing. It's just something simple. We had tables stretched out. We had a table that we kind of needed, but the kids were out playing and other people were moving around, so we didn't really, really need it. And there was a family that needed it, and we gave it to them. Their son ended up playing with our son. And they were like, he doesn't play with kids. Kids don't play with him. And they thanked my kids and were talking. It was like, it was cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And it was just from that, to me, that was community. And they were like, really? And we were like, yeah, why do we need to hog it if? And then another time, three elderly people came. And it's the funniest example of kind of do unto others.
Yeah.
The one lady spoke to me and was talking to us, and we willingly gave them that table. The dude didn't say shit, wasn't caring, wasn't trying to hear it, and we still was like, you know what, though?
That's
it's
it.
Still, here you go.
There you go. You did the right thing, and that one person did appreciate it, right? Because everybody's not going to, right?
They do. The other people do. They appreciate it. It hurt them. Everybody has that same soul. I don't care what you say. They understand it. They just don't like who did it, but they understand it. Why? you feel me? I listen. I tell people I'm more Malcolm than Martin, but I have both of them in me. Everybody does. We don't.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
exclude that.
but there was a time when me and that the one gentleman would have had a problem, regardless of what the other two thought, but like you say, like community, and you have to take that into effect, especially when you're the face of the product.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that Brother Derek, we want to thank you for what you did for us, and maybe we
I
can
haven't done anything.
find a way to, like I said, we would really love to find a way to combine your talents and what you've done with Brother Scott, and have a whole lecture series on, from Dr. Martin Luther King. We have Brother Kasimi out here, Kasimi, I'm sorry, that was with the Old Black Federation. So we have people that are tied up within our history. Brother Kasimu can, you know, uh, talk about when the uh, elderly Mexicans and the Black Federation, combined and saw, like we, in order for us to overcome, we have to make sure that we combine our forces. So and that's what it's all about. It's all about the coalition. It's not about it's about what's right for the community, whether it's this side or that side. There's only one right way to do things.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna turn the tables on you right now. No, Masada just gave us 2 or 3 great examples. I want you to, why don't you share the thing that gave you the most made you the most optimistic, gave you the most uh, best feeling about either at the table event that you had or at one of the other events that's happened since I've been on, because I'm hearing good things. And the other thing I want to ask you right after that is somebody donated some land for the garden, right? Didn't somebody donate some land, or was
No,
it a
no,
purchase? It was a
no, no.
purchase.
We have all our land are rented lots.
Okay,
Right,
they're all rented. Okay, okay,
right.
okay.
All
Which
rented
is
except what we're trying to do with my garden. I have technically an orchard. We have about 18 trees and a lot of other
Wow,
yeah,
like
wow.
that. Oh yeah, no, we garden. We garden.
yeah. So
Okay,
and not only that, but he has some room in the back where we can expand.
wow.
He
That's somewhere else. That's somewhere else.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna
but
leave that one alone.
no, but
Yeah. But answer the questions, brother James. What was your most highlighted inspirational part?
Yeah.
That
What was
gave
your
you
big
hope?
takeaway that made you feel really good about progress and the possibility of CCE and the impact that it can make in the community?
well, my main thing was everyone that I invited showed up.
Oh well, hey, half the battle is getting people to show up, right?
Right.
From
Yeah.
afar and local.
And
Really,
Yeah,
really.
from like an hour and a half away.
Wow,
yeah.
wow, that's powerful. That's a testimony right there.
So that to me was my most enjoyable and exciting moment. Um, but I also enjoyed watching, and it's funny when I call them the old people because because they're all my age. But yeah, but that just seeing the joy on their faces, because like I said, I am their age, and At this time, a lot of people are under a lot of different influences, maybe under settings that they don't have control of, and to see people that are still enjoying themselves, still being able to be active and committed to the community. Uh, I had one of the gentlemen at uh, this particular event. He emailed me and he said, I would have been at your event, but I was so tired, and this is a gentleman, that I understand. The gentleman is over 70, maybe even 80 years old, but at least he took the time to acknowledge,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that we made a difference in his life that particular day, enough for him
Yeah.
to remember who we are. So those are the things that were most
That's
enjoyable.
good. And well, that's really important. And again, it says something, says a lot when people will commit to you and then do what they said they do, because that says that they respect the work you put in and the possibility of the endeavor that you are promoting and building. And so, yeah, that's a lot to hang your hat on.
Yeah. Well, I loved it because of the flavors from each event. It wasn't just black, it wasn't just white, it was a mixture of all types of things. With the elderly, from Filipino to Chicano, and everybody celebrated their heritage. We had song and dance from the Filipinos, the Latinas. You want to say the Caucasian ones? They everybody did their own thing, and everybody enjoyed it together. And it wasn't to do anything but celebrate everyone together, and everybody responded in a good way. They did it so good. It was such a good feel that I don't dance, and I got out there and danced with them and had fun.
Yeah.
James, they got brother James out there too, and that's all it was. Each event, the best thing about each event was that there was so many flavors, and it wasn't just there was so many flavors. It was so many flavors on the one accord, making a gumbo, making a seasoning, making
Wow.
making that flavor, making America. America,
Yeah.
everybody always thinks of as one side or the other, black or white, or even a third Asian or Mexican, and it's not. When you think of America, it's people from other countries, immigrants, whatever you want to call them, people from other countries that came together and said, we don't want this shit that's going on in other countries. We want to come together and live as one. And
It's
then
a
America,
melting pot. Yeah,
a
it
melting
is.
pot. And then America decided, you know what? We want to keep it this way because this is who we are. And it really is only a handful of people that say that. So, the good, going back to the good, we had different flavors, different ages, and everybody talked and everybody, like you just said, people kept their word. I think the good part was everybody treated each other like they wanted to be treated each other with respect, from the adults to the kids. There was no difference. The adults treated kids like kids, but they treated kids with respect, and then they treated other adults with respect. And one person even told me, brother, I usually have a fire or rage inside me, but all the time around you and around y'all, I just feel calm. I feel at peace. I feel at home. And I'm like, there's no ego. There's no, that's why there's no hidden intentions. There's no salt. It's all pure.
Yeah.
And that's from everybody who was there. When we looked
That's
at the
beautiful.
tables and they were talking, it was really cool seeing them talking, communicating, just random ass people. And it was like all love.
We were supposed to end our event at 5 o'clock. People didn't leave until 6:37.
Wow.
That's because we were leaving. We was like, we got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I know it's probably hard to do this because, especially when you're first meeting people. But I was wondering, have you been thinking about like how to do the next touch point with those people? So how they will know when you're doing what you're doing next. and
Oh,
that
they
kind
signed
of-
up for the newsletter. They gave us their phone
Really?
numbers, emails.
Beautiful.
That's what we said.
Beautiful.
We're building like the movie
Yeah.
300. Instead of
Yeah.
trying to build an army of just every and anybody,
Yeah.
we're building a core, and then
Yeah.
that each one teach one can spread.
That's right. That's
because
right.
those people will come once you have the
Absolutely.
I was about to get religious and say the shepherds and all that, man.
Well, if they had a good time, then they'll bring somebody else. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we're listening and keeping track of what the people say. Every time, every time we have a common table, we'll have one of these books.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and
That's
we
beautiful.
could do it technology and let them do QR codes and all that, but we have them interpersonal. And you know what? That's another thing. I'm gonna keep bringing up great points about it. For the forum and the common table, everybody ate. Nobody had their phones. Do you hear that? Nobody. It wasn't old people. It was the oldest besides Brother James was probably like 50 or 60, maybe 50. I don't know how old she was, but like 50. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was Sue. You and Sister Sandra are like 60, 70, 80. But after that, it was like 50, and then it went down to like the youngest. They were like 30s, like 30. You know, besides the kids.
And we didn't even have to say no phone. You know, usually you have to say, please
put
don't.
Your phones down, put them away. No, everybody was really. They enjoy hearing and being heard. When people are really heard and seen, it makes a difference.
So how did that make you guys feel?
Oh, hey.
That the event was so well received and there was such a beautiful spirit. I can tell at the event.
I was so high off the spirit and energy that the event turned into not even an event. It just turned into like a family gathering, like a gathering of like minds and souls. And that's what I was high. And I think we spoke about, we've been high on, not even the event going good, just the connection we made with the people, because that's what made the event. Most people I do events, not apologetic, I do music and all that. We try to connect with the people because we focus on the event so much that we lose connection with the people. And I believe that's why the people's had their phones down, because it was really connecting with when we asked the questions, we heard more of, they want things like we were doing. They want more to face-to-face. They don't want Zoom meetings. They don't want to see that. They want to feel the energy and to see if you're telling the truth, if you're giving love, if you're who you say you are. And a lot of people can tell in person rather than behind the screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, how did you feel, Brother James, with it?
Hey, like I said, it gave me something that I haven't experienced in a long time, which is hope. Because everybody knows how I feel like about hope. I think it's been weaponized, but when I looked around, I saw hope in its true meaning. And like I said, it gave me a feeling that I haven't had in a long time, especially toward my fellow human beings, because I've seen the humanity that we've done to each other, and I've participated. So, me seeing like-minded people, and most of all, the hardest thing in the world for me to do is let go of the reins and give trust. And I'm once again starting trust my abilities to read people and look at them rather than look through them, which a lot of people might not understand what I'm saying, but for those that do, I spent a lot of years looking through people and not at them. So.
Wow. That's powerful.
Well, guys, we can kind of closed on that. Masada, since you late, I'm gonna make you get out of here first. So.
Well, it can be really quick. I want to keep. I've been keeping the energy rolling since yesterday, and it's still good. It's giving me a new definition of hope as well, and I see the flame hasn't been put out, and I mean, just seeing the different people and all feeling the same. Even the people weren't with our group at their last forum. Some of the people just heard it, came up to us afterwards and was saying, thank you. And it was like, what? And it was people you wouldn't expect, and they don't look like us. So thank you all. And let's continue it.
Brother Derek, as I said, we have to get you out here, most of all because we want to feel your energy. Anybody can do a Zoom meeting nowadays. You can be overnight celebrity and whatnot, but I think it's the energy that you know people are attracted to us. And but when we come in, it's kind of funny. Masada, I don't know if you're old enough to remember it or not, but I'm sure, Brother Derek, you remember Mutt and Jeff. The
Mm.
tall, you
Yeah.
got one tall guy come
Yeah.
in, and then you
Yeah.
got to,
Yeah.
so
I don't know
yeah,
what it is, but brother Derek, you're not. Trust me, I want to see your energy, but we just had a visitor with the forum. Me and her had only talked on this podcast, and then she saw in person and laughed, and I felt in person, and the energy I thought she was putting out was different. But my energy, I just laugh when people around me.
Javon's
So
mother is the one that we're talking. Well, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she,
Yeah.
she drove down. Plus,
uh,
there was a young man also.
that
Uh,
drove down from afar. But yeah,
yeah,
my energy
Wow.
is funny. So
That's good. That's good. That's
yeah.
good. Yeah. No, I'm just excited to hear the progress and the success. And as you said, that there are things and moments in our lives where we really need to see something that gives us hope. We need encouragement. We need to see small victories. And it sounds like those are happening. And just seeing the light in people's eyes when they make a connection and they see value added. And so I just can see that um, these building blocks are happening. And you guys have worked really, really hard to make them happen. And I just believe that, and again, James says he's spiritual, not religious. I get all that. But I believe these are God moments. And because if you're doing the right thing, and you are, because you're empowering your community, you're helping kids understand the connection between, the elements, the earth, and how it provides for us, and how we need to see the sacred nature of it, kind of like the Native Americans did, and that I guess some of our people did too, but we don't have that tradition, or we don't know that tradition like like they do. But no, it's encouraging to me to hear and see these stories, and especially in a place that's so diverse as you all have. We don't have that kind of diversity here. I mean, there's places and pockets, but you have it so much there, and to see people in different cultures, different countries, different languages, different races coming together and learning to trust each other and to appreciate each other. And even the story you just shared about the bike lanes, and even though they still felt what they felt, but I bet they left there with a little more understanding of why at least the other side sees the value of it. And hopefully that translates to, well, I hadn't really thought about it that way. So maybe I do see where there's some value. We just, maybe not so many of them, or maybe not everywhere, but okay, I can appreciate that. And, but if you don't ever have that discussion with an willingness to have an open ear, then you can't even begin to get there. So sounds like CCE is doing some really powerful and amazing things. And I think you're winning advocates every step of the way. And as you said, each one teach one, somebody else shows up next time, the circle expands. And that's a beautiful thing. So thank you all for all the work that you are doing, because all I can do from afar is be a cheerleader and just applaud you guys and come up with an idea every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really good success story, and sooner or later there's going to be some opportunities to even for some media that'll want to talk about it and share some of the success, and some of that could even be some jet fuel to bring in some more people who have really been looking for this. There's people who've been looking for this all over. And so, we just have to, you keep doing what you're doing, and more people will find out.
Listen, I look at you, brother Derek, as like a real team. I'll talk football really quick, really briefly. You can have a quarterback and a receiver and they can be playing catch all day, but you're gonna need the running back, you're gonna need that fullback, you're gonna need that lineman, and you might not see them do every play, but every play they doing a part. So even when we're on a podcast and we're talking, you might not even be talking to me. You might just be talking about something I didn't know. The emails you send, I look at those. Everything that you do that's small, obviously everybody can do more. And I can be like, brother Derek, you're not doing this. And I think myself, we're doing this, we're doing that. I want you to do more. I want you to be more involved. I do. When you go out to wherever you're going, I hope you say something about CCE and all that. But with that, I appreciate too. I think this is what all of us get called into, and I try not to. I do look at the things. I'll be like, I want a person to do better, and be like, I'm doing this, so why aren't they doing that? I will tell you I'm that, but I'm that also to tell you when you talk to me and when you're saying something, it helps me. So I'm the type of person that takes something from that. I use your name because you're part of us. You're the vice president. I need that. I need that guidance if I do need to reach out to you. I need to know that, you know what? Me and James, we laugh because we can't talk church. I don't want to talk church this week. I got some people I want to send your way. Go ahead. Talk to them because I'm probably going to fuck it up because of my mouth right there. See? And just because I can say that with you and know you don't judge me, you don't know how much that helps me. No, seriously. You don't know how much you not judging me and being here with us and with me, that shows me, I know James believes in me. You have to believe in me because you're part of it and put your name on it with me. That means a lot because a lot of us say that from the elder to our age period, and we say we want to help people, even the ones that can, and their ego gets in the way, they gatekeep, or he smokes weed, or he says shit, or he does this, and they be like, is that really hurting anybody? Is he really breaking any laws? Oh, you just don't like him. He too arrogant. What is arrogant about him? You know, you ain't saying none of that. So that to me is what a teammate does. That old veteran who ain't playing, but who's in the locker room and they have him in there. And I'm using sports analogies a lot because I know people think I don't like sports and I talk shit about it. They help, and you all can help. I just want you all to have the conversations and really do different things. But sports analogies, everybody know. They have that old veteran. He might not even play the game. And then that last game, they put Robert Ory in, and he hit a 3, the biggest, to help them all win. So I want to say I thank you, while at the same time talking shit to you because I feel like we all can do better. But you do right now enough what needs to be done, and when you're called upon, it's not for us to call upon it. It's whenever it hits you to you know what I'm saying. I don't get religious, but at the same time, I've learned and I believe in whatever. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
All right, bro. Let's get up out of here, and I'll see you everyone next week. Besides, I'll see you tomorrow. But
you'll see me tomorrow. Yes.
We appreciate everything that you do for us. I'm always looking forward to your emails because you bring that knowledge that Messiah might not be seeking right at that particular time, but then again, you make sure we have a lot of things to talk about because we could always. There's not one thing that you said that's during the week that we can't make a topic out of on Monday.
I had one good thing I would share with you guys. So not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, I went to, it was a centennial celebration of Ralph David Abernathy's birthday at his church, West Hunter. And so it was, he has some baggage because of the book that he wrote. The walls came tumbling down, where there were things that, but he was Dr. King's best friend, and I honestly didn't know as near as much about him as I know about some of the other people. So it was a powerful experience, and I'll at some point we'll get together. I'll share a couple of things that came out of that, and then we just lost another of the Freedom Riders. Dr. Bernard Lafayette, and I had been some time with him this past summer. So, I always appreciate these times with you guys because I'm learning a lot because I haven't, even though I come from both sides of my family are agrarian and they farm sweet potatoes and collard greens and all these kind of things, but I never did any of that. And so I'm really enthralled that you guys are doing this and making the impact in the community, and especially with young people, because we know that I mean, everything is so expensive these days, right? And you teach people the self-sustainability by growing their own and how it's going to be healthier for them. I mean, so that's such a powerful testimony. So thank you all, and I look forward to getting with you next week.
All right, Brother Derek, you have a good night. Everybody that's listening, you have a good night, and we'll talk again next week. So
Sounds good.
Let's
Wrap it up. Peace, light, and love.